And good evening to everyone. It's still Wednesday. It is the 8th day of October, and time for another few words. A little bit late during the day, but I was called away earlier this morning. I went to a wedding a good distance away, a good drive away, so I had to leave a little earlier than normal. Um, but nonetheless, and then came back. I had all other things going on, plus the Mass and Adoration this evening, and just finishing up. And so here we are, 9:15 or 9:16, whatever it happens to be, and time for another few words from the pastor. Um, a thought came into my head, and I wanted to get it before the day is over, before I forget about it. And it is, uh, I was thinking about my life. Next week we have World Mission Sunday. We talk about we had the mission we had a second collection for Gaza last 2 weeks ago, and it just seems to me, and then the mission cooperative plan which we shared in also. The idea of vocation came to mind, and my vocation came to mind in some convoluted way, and I was thinking in terms of um, the wonder and the miracle of where I am today, how I'm here. Um, I can go back to how it first came about. I'm not going to go through my whole vocation story, what a boring thing that might be, but at the same time, how it really never really was a strong thought in my brain until the Salesians came to my house eventually. My sister, anyway, I won't get into that either. And they asked me, and I tried to be. I was just 13 years old. I don't care. I said I'll go with the Salesians. I don't care. And so I ended up going with them, and I spent my high school years in a boarding residential situation with the Salesians up in New England. And throughout my life from then on, it seems as if I had guys in my class that were spiritually deep and rich, that were brilliant, and here I was. I was not necessarily a lummox, but at the same time, I struggled. I struggled with geometry in high school. I struggled with Latin. Struggled with Greek. And it seems that whenever I was getting a little bit down or a little bit there was always someone. And I remember them because they seemed to be right at the right place at the right time, saying the right thing. And boom, I felt so much better. Sometimes it was one of the priests or brothers. Sometimes it was one of my classmates. Sometimes it was a parent. Sometimes it was just out of the blue. It came from someone not least expected. But it picked me up and it got me over a little difficult hump, a little difficult patch, a speed bump in my journey to the priesthood. Got through high school, then novitiate, and the same thing in novitiate. Um, you know, when I found out in my senior year that there was something after high school. What? There is? Oh, okay. And then I just kind of went along, But it was the thought was firming up in my mind because I looked and I saw the priests and brothers there, and I said, you know, they seem happy just being with us. So God bless them. That's all I ever wanted to be, was happy and make people happy. That's all I ever wanted in my life. And but over the years, whether it be in early formation, whether it be in my studies in theology, whether it be in my practical training, there was always someone at a critical time, at a time when I needed to have a good word. Sometimes it was a family member that just gave a good word, that called at the right time, you know, and spoke something and said something. It kind of took a weight off me and was able to carry on. And I've been blessed with so many people like that in my life. And I'm wondering and I'm believing that all of us have the same story to tell. But we have to be aware of it. And maybe I haven't been aware of it often enough, but I'm aware of it, and I have been aware of it for a while now. But I'm encouraging you to be aware of the people these are important people for us. They're little angels of God because they say something, they do something, they remind you, they affirm you in a way that right at the right time. The timing it's heavenly sent. It's like an angel being sent into your life at the right moment. And we need to thank God for the gift of them. Because what would life be if there was no affirmation, if there was no good word, if there was no, at those times, I don't know, what would it have changed my life? Yeah, it could be, these people changed my life. And so I'm asking you to look into your life and remember the people who got you over your good patch, your rough patch, your besties, your best friends, the people who took time to notice you at a time when you thought no one even knew you existed, when it felt like you were not important, you were unnoticed, unvalued, unloved, uncared for, Those are the people that you need to remember now and thank God for the gift of, and see God's hand in how He moves in and out through the lives of others into your life and moves your life along. And may what He's encouraging all of us to do is we think of those good people, we think in terms of how we are called to be that person for others. Always take advantage of being affirming, a good word, a kind thought, a good deed. Something that can maybe change someone's life, even though insignificant though it might seem. Brighten someone's day, help them to get over that rough patch that they might be going through that no one else knows that they're struggling with. And so that's my prayer for you today. Thank God for the gift of those people in your life. Remember them, thank them, pray for them, but also take time to remind yourself that you are called to do that and be that person for others. Okay? Be that person for others. And know what that means, that you can change someone's life by a little act of kindness, a random act of kindness. Stand strong and be all that we can be. Sounds familiar, right? God love you, God bless you, and hope to see you next week. Maybe a little earlier in the day also. Okay, a little earlier in the day. God bless you. Have a great evening and an outstanding rest of the week as well. Mary, help of Christians, pray for us. Mary, help of Christians, pray for you.